Hey, Bernie Borges here, CMO of Vengreso, and I am here with my buddy Joe Pulizzi, founder and CEO of Content Marketing Institute.
Right.
Joe is here with me in Tampa, Florida. He's in town for a speaking event here with the American Marketing Association, and we're having a little bit of an Orange Fest here.
That's right.
Which is totally appropriate.
We should be definitely going to an orange wedding.
Well,
we should absolutely.
This afternoon we'll be.
Look like we're getting married here ourselves.
Well, Joe, there's a rumor floating around.
Yes.
And that rumor is that you and your partner in crime, Robert Rose, are out to kill marketing.
Yes.
So, what is up with that?
There is that rumor going around. So, we're launching our book, Killing Marketing, which will be out in September. And, first of all, we don't want to kill marketing, but we do believe that the future of marketing, believe it or not, revolves around marketing as a profit center. And most marketers don't think about that. And we believe that now is the time. And of course, we've heard about the Red Bulls of the world, and we've seen Pepsi and Mondelez start to dabble in generating revenue directly from their marketing department. But I think now we're at the time where we actually have tangible examples of, wow, what if we do build an audience, a loyal and trusted audience? Do we just sell them what we've always sold them? Or is there an opportunity to generate new lines of revenue? Is there new insight that we've never gotten before? Actually treat marketing as an R&D department. Could we look at not one, not two, but 10 different ways to generate revenue from our marketing? And I think that's going to be the future for innovative companies. Do I think every company is going to look at marketing or a portion of their marketing arm as a profit center? No. But I believe that the most innovative enterprises in the world will be doing this. We're already seeing it happen. And so Killing Marketing, the book, is about how do you make that change into doing this? How do you build a loyal audience? And then how do you actually create a content-first business model so that we have the opportunity to generate revenues and to launch products we never would have thought of before. So it's a little bit out there.
From a title standpoint, So something I want to remark on, because one of the topics that I've covered on my podcast before several times is the concept of data is so important to the modern marketer, right? Whether you're B2B or B2C, capturing data and then understanding as much as you can about your customer and segmenting them and delivering to them what's so important to them.
That's right.
So is that a big part of what you mean by killing marketing and building an audience so that you can understand your audience really intimately?
Well, so look at how general marketing has been done for the past 50, 60 years. Oh, we have a product or service. We're going to package up that messaging in just a certain way, and we're going to deliver that and pretty much interrupt people in any way that we possibly can to say, this is our product and service. You need to buy more of it, and here's why, and all that kind of stuff. I think the better way to do it today is, well, what if we find out the needs and wants of our audience? What if we find out what they're challenged with on a regular basis? What if we find out, what if they actually give us information and tell us what those challenges are and where opportunities would exist that we would never know if we didn't have that relationship with an audience? That's the whole first part of this book, is if you do that, and if you look at Kraft Food and Family, that whole program, craftrecipes.com. Well, how do they know what new products to launch in the next 18 months? Because of the data that they're gathering from the recipes that people are downloading and the questions that they're submitting. And so that's why you know that red velvet is going to be the thing, because they knew it 18 months before everybody else did, because of that data that they had, because they had a loyal audience.
Tell me this, Joe. How much patience does it require for a brand to really invest in building an audience to get to a point where Kraft Foods is at today?
Well, I think that if you're going to do this, you have to be at least 12 to 18 months patient, because building a loyal audience doesn't happen overnight. Any media company knows this. Actually, that's why I came from media and publishing. We knew that it took 3 years to really make a profitable media venture if you're going to do this. So that's one way. Be patient. It's a tough sell in a lot of organizations. But what we're also seeing, like large B2B company Arrow Electronics, which has more SKUs than Amazon.com, Fortune 119 company, they said, we don't have the patience, but we do have the cash. Let's go out and buy the media company. So they went out and bought 51 different media brands, and now they reach directly and have a direct relationship with 76% of their global total addressable audience. 76% rely on Arrow Electronics for their regular content, education, and training. And by the way, it's profitable. They make money off of that. So just that is the present and future of what marketing is becoming. And let's just say you don't believe in the whole thing about marketing as a profit center. Take it to your point. You have more insight about your audience than anyone else, and you'll be able to sell.
Market research.
You'll be able to sell better to them than your competition because you know this information.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So I guess the rumor was wrong. That you're not killing marketing. You're just redefining marketing in a different way, in a different mindset, sort of a different lens for companies of all size, B2B, B2C, to really look at building an audience, right? And of course, you've been talking about building an audience for as long as I've known you. Your previous book, Content Inc., is a lot about that as well. So who's the reader for Killing Marketing?
So I would like the reader of Killing Marketing to be the marketing leader, the marketing practitioner, the chief marketing officer, a CEO in a smaller company, where I think this book will really come in handy, especially for practitioners, sales and marketing practitioners listening to this, watching this, would be, I have a CMO that doesn't really get it. And we find that everywhere we go. And when you go into large enterprises, they don't understand this. They were never taught this. When you go in and you say, we want to build a loyal audience, you're going to go to a CMO, they're going to say, get out of here. I don't understand what you're talking about. This is not marketing. But this is the new marketing. This is the new marketing mantra we have to push in our enterprises. And what we found is that practitioners have trouble doing this, have trouble selling it internally. So take this book, give it to your CMO, give it to your CEO, and they will become the true believer for you so that you can actually start to build these audiences and do something substantial and make a difference in your customer's life. Instead of just preaching at them, you can build that relationship.
As you know, at Vengreso, we say that the modern buyer needs a modern seller. I think part of what you're saying here, and tell me how this aligns with it, is that the modern consumer needs a modern marketer.
Well, consumers have all the control today. I mean, we're still selling like there's limited channels. If you go back before 1990, there were only 8 ways that consumers could get information, which meant that advertising ruled. The way that we have always sold worked really well. Well, today there are thousands of different channels. Consumers can ignore us every step along the way, and we have to deliver them really amazing experiences on a regular basis from a sales and marketing side in order to at least get a little bit of attention. So if you're not doing that, if you're not selling in a new way, I don't know what you're doing. I think you're wasting your time, because if you're selling the way we sold 5 years ago, 10 years ago, even 2 years ago, you are going to be left out of this process and probably looking for a job somewhere that doesn't exist anymore.
I couldn't agree with you more.
I
Joe,
thought that you would.
Yeah, well, you're speaking my language there.
Yeah.
Well, Joe, Killing Marketing is coming out when?
We're actually launching at Content Marketing World 2017, Cleveland, Ohio, September 5th to 8th, and then the official launch date is September 19th, and then
Okay.
Robert and I go on our book tour and master classes and everything.
So who's the chucklehead co-author with you?
My good friend Robert Rose is the chief strategist for CMI.
I feel like I have permission to call him that because he uses that word all the time.
Yes, he is.
So I say it with affection, Robert.
We love, Robert and I have such a great relationship. It was fun working on this book together. We just recorded the audiobook.
Yeah.
And we're so passionate about this, as you can tell. It'll be fun going around talking to people, but especially the ones that absolutely don't believe this, because I see it plain as day. 10 years, this is going to be the rule, not the exception. But right now, you talk to a lot of large companies, and they simply don't believe it, or they're doing content as sort of we have to create more content, and everybody's doing it, instead of really committing to it and say, we're going to make a change in our customer's life. We're going to be the leading resources for them and really make change happen.
Fantastic. Well, Joe, I've read every one of your books, so this will be no exception. I can't wait for it to come out. Thank you so much for joining me here today on the Social Business Engine podcast. This is Bernie Borges, CMO Vengreso, and the Joe Pulizzi, founder and CEO of Content Marketing Institute, an all-around awesome orange guy. See ya.